Alright guys, as promised, we're going to go ahead and log into your VPS for the first time. Now this whole video is going to assume that you're running the CentOS Lighttpd template that we have available at ZenSix.com. If you're running something different, it's not going to be the same because this is specifically designed for that. Now, first thing you need to do is, if you're on Windows, go to Google and type in PuTTY, P-U-T-T-Y. Click on download and then run down to the executable file, save that and install it. If you're on Mac or Linux, you don't have to worry about that because you have the terminal program built in. If you have questions about PuTTY, just go over there, the frequently asked questions in their docs. It tells you how to log in. It's a little different than what I'm going to show you, but basically the same thing. Now, first thing you want to do is go ahead and log in, or pull up the program, pull up PuTTY or your terminal program, and we're going to log in as the root user at the IP address of your server, or if your domain is already, your host name is already resolving, we'll go ahead and use that. So to issue that command in Linux is SSH and then the user. Just hit that, it'll ask you for a password, put in your root password, and that's it. Now the very first thing we want to do is add a user that's not root, that you're going to log in with and do most of your work with. So to do that, we're going to use the user add command, and you want to go ahead and do -M. That means don't create a home directory for this user because we don't really need one. This user is only for maintenance and creating new sites. We don't need to give them their own special home folder. Then just say a username of Bob, whatever you want to use. I've done that before, and so it says the mailbox file exists. You're not going to get that. You got to give them a password now. So PASSWD, the user Bob, and pick a password. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to clear the screen to make this easier to see. We got that done, but one last thing we need to do is add this user to the wheel group. That means you can basically switch from that user to the root user without logging out. This is specific to the ZenSix template that we have available. So go ahead and do user mod -a -g wheel. Now it doesn't, don't worry about what all this means. This is just something you need to do to get started. We'll go over what's actually going on here in future tutorials. And then the name of the user. Done. One last, actually, let's just go ahead and say that's it for now. Let's go ahead and exit, log out, and now let's log in with that user. So instead of root, we use the username at your IP address or your domain. The new password now, and it says you cannot change directory to the home/Bob because that -M command, the flag, said don't make one, which is fine. Now the first thing you want to do is change to the home directory manually. That's CD for change directory /home. Now this folder is where Lighttpd, the web server that you guys are going to be using, looks for websites. It's all based in this one folder. To list the contents of this folder, just hit ls, that's list, and you can see this has example.com and ZenSSH.com. The example is going to be in yours already. ZenSSH is one I've already made, but it gives you an idea of how it works. Lighttpd will look in the home directory for domain names. So to add a new domain to your server, all you do is go to the home directory and make a new folder in the home directory with the name of the domain you're going to be hosting. So if you want to add a domain called bob.com to the server, you create a folder called bob.com. If we go into the example folder, bracket type, and list the contents of that folder, you're going to see www. Let me show you the present working directory so you can get an idea. So home/www.example.com, and then there's the www folder inside of that even. Now what that does is it acts as your public HTML folder. When you upload your website, it goes in there. If your website files are not in the www folder, they're not going to show up on your website. We're going to move back 2 times. Oh, let's go back 1 too many. Third again. Now we're in your home directory again. Let's go ahead and list that. If I can get these right. Now, what we want to do is create a directory for the first time for your new domain. But to do that, we're going to have to do it as a root user first. So issue the command switch user, that's SU, and it will go by default take you to the root user. So put in your root password, and this is why we added you to the will group. You don't have to log out and log back in to switch to the root user. So let's set again. Let's say we want to make a domain called bob.com. We issue the command mkdir, that's make directory bob.com. That's it. Last thing we need to do here is give ownership of bob.com to the user Bob, so when you log in as Bob you can make changes to that directory. So we change owner, that's CHOWN dash capital R. You don't really need that, but just go ahead and throw it in there. It's future use, you'll want to use that. And then Bob colon Bob, and then the directory name bob.com. Now if you do an ls minus LA, you'll see that that folder right here now belongs to the user Bob. This is useful because you can add new users that you don't want to have access to other files. This way, you add a new user, give them their own folder, and they can upload their site any way they want. Anyway, let's go ahead and exit out of that, out of the root user, and we're back. If you see, notice this $sign, that shows you that you're not root anymore right there. Okay, so anyway, list the contents. We got bob.com. Let's change the directory to bob.com. List the files there. There's nothing. We need to create the www directory so you have something to upload your website to. Just make directory again, www. List that. Change the directory www. Present working directory. We now have home/bob.com/www. You put your website files in there, and the Lighttpd web server will automatically know that when somebody types in bob.com and it comes to your server, that the website files for bob.com are in that folder because it's based on the folder name. And you can have as many of those as you want. There's no limit to the amount of domains you can host under one account. Anyway, that's the quick and dirty tutorial for getting you guys set up on this, adding a user, adding a new domain folder. Next video we're going to go into actually uploading the contents of your website to your domain using SCP or SSH, but we're not going to even touch FTP because it's not needed, and you'll see why. So if you got any questions, let me know in the comments or send me an email, and I'll help you out with that. But that's basically all you need to know for now. Thanks.